All right, today we're going to doing lesson 11-4, converting metric units of length. Measure the length of your book in centimeters, then measure it in millimeters. What do you notice about the two measurements? So you can measure anything you want. If you have an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper or something in your house that you can measure it using your ruler that you got from the school. And you're going to notice that 1 centimeter is going to equal 10 millimeters. And your book might be, if you just, let's see, if you use your regular math book, your math book will have a length of, you want to make sure you're using the metric side of your ruler. It'll have like a length of 27.3 centimeters. And in millimeters, that would be 273. So we're moving the decimal. There's 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So you're basically moving the decimal one place value. Metrics are a lot easier to do than customary measurement. So the most common units we have are kilo, hecto, deca. The unit measurement is 1, deci, centi, and milli. So those are the prefixes we're going to be using. And the most common ones for length, I'll put a star next to kilometer, meter, centimeter, and millimeter. And 1 kilometer is way over here. 1 kilometer equals 10 to the third meters, or 1,000 meters. 1 meter equals 1 meter, which equals 10 to the second centimeters, or 100 centimeters. And 1 meter also equals 10 to the third millimeters, or 1,000 millimeters. 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. So those are basic units you're going to need to remember. And we have a mnemonic to help you try to remember the different units. Prefixes: kilo means 1,000, hecto means 100, deca means 10, deci means 100th, centi means, or deci means 1/10th, centi means 100th, and milli means 1,000th. So this would be 1,000, 100, 10, 1/10th, 100th, 1,000th. And in the middle right here would be whatever our unit is. So it could be a meter, a liter, or a gram. Today we're going to be talking units of length, so we'll be talking about meters. So we use these same prefixes in all 3 types of measurement in the metric system. We use them in when we're measuring liquid measurement, when we're measuring length, or we're measuring mass. And basically we do move the decimal around to convert, so it's a little bit easier. Every metric unit is 10 times greater than the next smaller unit, just like our place number system. So we can say if you start at a meter, the decameter is 10 times the meter. The decimeter is 100 times, hectometer is 100 times, and the kilometer is 1,000 times. If you go in the other direction, it's 1/10th, 100th, and 1,000th. So 1 or 3 kilometers equals how many meters? And we are going from larger to smaller, so we multiply. And in this case, we multiply by 1,000. Because remember, k to the third equals 1,000. We have 100. And don't forget, it's those numbers. And the distance between a kitchen and living room is 1,200 centimeters. How many meters is that? Nobody would measure a distance using centimeters, but whatever. So in this case, we're going from smaller to larger. So we're going to divide. And when you go from centimeters to meters here, we're going to divide by 100, or 10 to the second power. So what we do when we take 1,200 and divide by 100, remember the decimal is understood to be at the end, and when we divide by 10, we move it one place, divide by 100, move it two places. So 1,200 centimeters is 12 meters. Okay, we do a little work here. To find the number of meters in 6 kilometers, we're going to multiply 6 times 10 to the third, or 6 times 1,000. And we are going from the larger unit to a smaller unit. So we're going to multiply. And we know there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So to find how many meters there are in 6 kilometers, we multiply 6 times 1,000. And this is the key. To go from larger to smaller, you multiply. Remember, L to S, we're going to multiply. S to L, we're going to divide. Convert 12.5 centimeters to millimeters. And remember our chart on the other page. We had the meter here. We had the decimeter here. We had the centimeter here. And we had the millimeter here. So we're going to go from centimeters right here to millimeters. So it's only going to be 10. And we're going to decide, are we going to divide or multiply, because they're right next to each other. So we are going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. So we're going to multiply. And they're right next to each other, so we multiply by 10. So we get 125 millimeters. Convert each unit of length, and don't forget your large to small and small to large. So 10 centimeters to meters. So if we remember our chart, we've got the unit in the middle. We've got the decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. And over here, we have deca, capital big D, hecto, and kilo. We don't really use the hecto and the deca in 5th grade. We kind of skip over them a lot. And the U stands for unit. In this case, it's a meter. So that's where 1 would be located. So we're going to go from centimeters to meters. So, and if you look at the chart, we're going from centimeters to meters. So we're going to, and we have 1,000 centimeters. And we're going to go to the meter. So we're going to go 10, 100. So we're going to take 1,000 centimeters. We're going from smaller to larger. We're going to divide it by 100. And we're going to get 10. 48 meters to millimeters. So we're going from meters to millimeters. So that's 10, 100, 1,000. So we're going from larger to smaller here. So we're going to multiply by 1,000. And we're going to wind up with 58,000. Millimeters to centimeters. Millimeters. The centimeters are right next door. So we're going to go from a smaller unit to a larger unit. So we're going to divide by 10. Because they're right next door, we get 100. Kilometers to meters, we're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. And kilometers to meters is 10, 100, 1,000. So we're going to multiply by 1,000. So we get 3,000 meters. And down the bottom, number 7, 9,000 meters, and it's going to equal how many kilometers? So you're going to have to turn one side of the equation into the same unit as the other. So let's say I want to turn 9,000 meters. I want to know how many kilometers is that. And from meters to kilometers is smaller to large, and they're 10, 100, 1,000. So it's 1,000 away. So I'm going to divide by 1,000. So I would have 9 kilometers. So 9 kilometers and 20 kilometers. 20 kilometers is bigger. And for 400 centimeters and 4 meters, let's take our centimeters and turn them into how many meters? Centimeters to meters is 10, 100. So we're going to go from a smaller unit to a larger unit. We're dividing by 100. It's 4 meters, and those little guys are equal to each other.